There's a lot of technology thrown your way this year, and we're here to help make sure that you face that head on. Starting with your projector remote. The blue button at the very top is going to turn it on and get it ready to work. The next thing you want to find is your VGA cord. This one actually has audio cables as well, so you'll be able to play sound through the projector. After that, find your HDMI cord. This is another cord that will come separate. We may be using this in the future, but for right now, this is just something that you can put aside. Lastly, find the USB cable. Now this cable is the silver-looking one with the two black ends. This is going to be the most important piece of the pie in order to make this interactive with your computer. Inside your room, you'll also see this pizza box looking thing. When you open it up, there are plenty of other options inside here. First things first, here's that remote that we were talking about. There are going to be two black batteries that should go with that. You're also going to find two white color batteries. These are rechargeable batteries which will go with your battery charger. These things are for your pens, your Epson pens that will go to your projector. Speaking of Epson pens, they may come loose, they may come together, but this is the case that will hold your Epson pens. Some of the other things within this box are going to be another VGA cable that does not have audio. For the time being, this will just be an extra. And another USB cable, which is for the projector, which we won't need because ours are already run through the wall. The last thing in here is going to be some reflector strips. Now these reflector strips aren't necessary right now. There may be some instances in which they are, and we'll make sure that technology works with you to get those installed if you're having issues. So the things I'm going to take out of this box are going to be the Epson pens, the remote, and the batteries, and the recharger and rechargeable batteries. Everything else I'm going to put somewhere safe for the time being. Now along the wall near your board, you're going to find this kind of a little outlet. This is going to have all the inputs that you need to connect to your projector. Everything from here will go straight to your computer or other devices that you'd like to connect. This is the VGA port that will go to your computer. Below that is an HDMI port that could also go to your computer, but for right now we're going to focus on VGA to make the connection. Over here we have our auxiliary port. This is what's going to give us our sound. It'll come out of here and into our computer in order for those two things to hook up and be able to hear. And this last one is a USB port, the most essential piece to making it interactive. Without the USB connected to your computer, your interactive projector will not be interactive. Now notice that one end of your VGA cable says to display. It actually has a shorter audio cable. This is the one that will go to the box. So I'll put the to display end of the VGA into the box and the audio cable into the auxiliary port. Next, I'm going to take my USB cable and plug that into the USB portion. This is how it should look to set up your projector the first time. Notice that this end of the VGA cable says to source. Your computer is your source. I'm going to plug this in to the VGA port of my computer, and I'll notice that the auxiliary cable is much, much longer. Without this length of auxiliary cable, it won't be able to reach to the headphone jack, which is where you're going to need to put it. Once you have your VGA cable plugged into the back, you're going to want to plug your USB cable into the side. Once you plug that cable in, it'll start running its drivers and installing everything it needs. One thing we have noticed is that sometimes on older computers, these USB ports may not be working correctly. If you plug it in and the drivers don't begin and nothing seems to happen on your computer, take it out and find another. You have two on one side of your computer, and you actually should have some more USB drives on the other. Find one that will work and watch the drivers load. Now you'll notice that starts to install the device driver software. If you click on it, you'll be able to see where it is in the download, and you can see that this one is ready to use. As soon as it says ready to use across, I'm ready to click and start navigating. Once that USB is connected, your computer and the projector are now interactive. So anything I touch on with my finger should manipulate the screen. Now, how this works is this little box up here is sending down a signal all throughout your board. So if something is blocking this signal, it's not going to read it. So if my pen box is up here at the top, it's not going to be able to sense anything up in this corner, which you won't be able to close out of anything you need. So make sure that our pen box is completely out of the way, as well as anything else on your board. We don't want any distractions on your screen. Now I can use my finger to do anything I wanted to on this board. But don't forget about those pens. We can also use those pens. Now, if I wanted to use a pen to just annotate over a screen or anything like that, I have some choices over here through Epson. That little mouse will show me a mouse, or it will show me that I have a pen connected to a projector. If I switch and choose pen connected to a projector, the screen will blank for a second, and I have more options. Now I can use my pens to annotate over my screen, and I can change different options all through Epson. Now to get out of pen mode, you come right back and choose the mouse. And now you'll be able to drag and drop just like you normally would. Now let's take a second to talk about some of the things that you might be experiencing which would cause issues. One of those things is, once it's touch compatible, and I can move things around, I may be noticing that the middle of my screen is fantastic. Everything is working just as it should. But as I get to the corners and the top and the bottom, if I try and click something, my clicker is actually above where it should be. This is a resolution issue. How we would solve that is you could go to your computer, right-click on your desktop, or we can just press and hold, and it'll give us our right-click options. We need to change that screen resolution. So when I choose screen resolution, it will give me some choices right here for the resolution of my machine. I want that resolution to be as close, or 1366 by 768, as I can possibly get. Most machines should be able to get there. Some may not. Just make sure it's as high as it can possibly go. Once I have it chosen, I choose Apply. It'll calibrate everything. It'll ask if I want to keep those changes, which I do. And then I can test it out again. My middle seems okay, and down here where I was having problems before, it works fine now. Something else that we're noticing is sometimes you may have a shaky screen from your projector. One cause of this could be your VGA cable. You have nice new black ones that are a little bit thicker than the old blue end VGA cables we've been using in the past. Make sure you're using your new ones. It could be a VGA issue that's causing your screen to be shaky. So if I want to choose that reliable way of going from my computer straight into the wall without using the document camera, it's a pretty quick switch. I would unplug the audio cable, unplug the video, and put it straight into VGA out of my Samsung document camera. Now I'm ready to rock.